This morning, we're honoring the legacy of a man who broke barriers and left a mark on this city that will be felt for generations to come.
David Dinkins, New York City's first black mayor, died of natural causes Monday at his home on the Upper East Side. He only served one term, but accomplished quite a bit in his 4 years. CBS 2's Marcia Kramer takes a look back.
The Honorable David N. Dinkins.
On January 1st, 1990, David Norman Dinkins, the son of a domestic and a barber, entered New York City's history books as the first and to date only African American to an election as mayor of the city of New York.
I intend to be the mayor of all the people of New York. This administration will never lead by dividing, by setting some of us against the rest of us, or by favoring one group over others.
He was a kind and dignified man who referred to New York's diverse population as the gorgeous mosaic, and he had a soft spot in his heart for children, all children, so much so that after he took the oath of office,
do solemnly swear,
he said he would dedicate his administration to bettering the life of the children of New York.
And the measure of whether I fulfill my mandate will be how we treat those who start out in life during my tenure at City Hall.
Dinkins defeated Ed Koch to become the 106th mayor of the city of New York by promising to be tough on crime and more sensitive on racial issues. Yet his administration was marked by a number of polarizing events: the black boycott of a Korean-owned grocery store in Flatbush, Brooklyn, and the 1991 Crown Heights riots. Crime proved to be a difficult problem for Dinkins. A wave of murders, crime, and gun violence prompted the New York Post to demand, "Dave, do something." Dinkins did do something. He got the state legislature to pass a Safe Streets, Safe Cities tax to hire thousands of additional cops. And that helped him reduce crime dramatically, ending a 30-year upward spiral. Ironically, Dinkins was hurt by the perception that crime was out of control during his administration. After shots were fired less than a block away from a press conference he had on gun control, I talked to Dinkins about his own safety concerns.
Do you ever worry about your own personal safety?
there's just not much one can do about that, and if to live in constant fear is not to live.
Dinkins was known for his dapper dress. In the office, he kept his suit pants in a press to keep the crease and walked around in sweatpants, and for his personal toughness, in part the result of a stint in the Marines. He once related a story about how his family stopped him from a life of crime at the age of 8 or 9 after he stole reflectors off license plates in Harlem.
My mother and grandmother, who were domestics and who normally would just simply talk to me if I were misbehaving, felt that on this occasion it was important to teach me a lesson. They stripped me, stood me in a bathtub, and spanked me with straps. And as I put it, I haven't stolen a reflector since.
Dinkins entered public life in the 1960s when he was elected to the New York State Assembly. He was a Democratic district leader for 2 decades. He became the first black to head the City Board of Elections in 1972, and he was about to become the city's first black deputy mayor, appointed by then-Mayor Abraham Beame, until it was discovered he failed to pay his taxes for 4 years.
It's my era, should not have happened.
It was only a temporary setback. In 1975, he became city clerk. Then he ran and lost for Manhattan Borough president. He remained a prominent figure, appearing with other black leaders such as Jesse Jackson. But Jackson's association with the Reverend Louis Farrakhan caused discomfort. In 1985, when the black Muslim was accused of making anti-Semitic remarks before a scheduled appearance at Madison Square Garden, Dinkins was one of the few black leaders to publicly rebuke the controversial minister.
A call for power and pride couched in terms of racial and religious bigotry can never offer true hope.
He was finally elected Manhattan Borough president in 1985, and 4 years later he won election to the city's top job. One of the people who worked for Dinkins was a young man who would go on to become mayor himself.
The history still doesn't accurately identify what this mayor did for this city.
Dinkins had many other accomplishments while in office. He signed the lease with the United States Tennis Association to create the Tennis Center in Flushing Meadows, and also created Fashion Week, Restaurant Week, and Broadway on Broadway.
The passing of David Dinkins comes more than a month after the loss of his wife, Joyce. The former First Lady of New York City was born in Harlem and earned a sociology degree from Howard University in Washington, where she met her future husband. She was a champion of literacy and established reading as recreation at Gracie Mansion. She and the former mayor are survived by their their 2 children. Joyce Dinkins was 89 years old.
And Rudy Giuliani, who defeated David Dinkins in the 1993 New York City mayoral race, tweeted, "I extend my deepest condolences to the family of Mayor David Dinkins and to the many New Yorkers who loved and supported him. He gave a great deal of his life in service to our great city. That service is respected and honored by all." We have much more on Dinkins' life and legacy on our website at cbsnewyork.com.